Are we living in the peak of civilization, or just rediscovering what was once lost? It's 2025. Humans are exploring space. You're holding a phone that's more powerful than the computer used in the moon mission. GPS, AI, nanotech. We often believe we're standing on top of human advancement. But here's the uncomfortable question no one really asks. What if we're not inventing new things, but simply rediscovering ancient technology? Sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But stay with me, because what you're about to hear is real. 1. The Viking compass, GPS. In the 9th century. From the 9th to the 13th century, while much of the world still navigated by stars, the Vikings were sailing from Europe to America and back without getting lost. Today, we have GPS. Your phone uses satellites to pinpoint your location. But imagine being a sailor 1,000 years ago. No phone, no satellite maps, no signals, just the vast ocean in every direction. So how did they navigate? At first, they used something called a sun compass. It sounds high-tech, but it was really just a piece of wood with a stick in the middle. When the sun hit it, the shadow pointed the way. But what if it was cloudy? Or nighttime? No sun means no shadow and no direction. You'd be lost at sea, literally. That's where the Vikings stunned the world. They had what seemed like alien-level tech, the sunstone. In 2010, scientists discovered a real one on a sunken Elizabethan ship. It's a special crystal that could locate the sun's position even during heavy clouds or at sunset. When combined with a device called the Unartok disc, a wooden tool with carved markings, the Vikings could navigate with shocking accuracy. Margin of error? Just 4 degrees. That's about the same precision as the compass on your iPhone. No GPS. No internet. No satellites. But they had, in their hands, what we might call a cosmic map. They sailed from Europe to America and came back safely. No asking for directions. No getting lost. Meanwhile, in 2025, we sometimes still take the wrong turn with Google Maps. So, where did they get that technology? Could it really be extraterrestrial? 2. The nanocup. When ancient Rome used nanotechnology. Think nanotech is a 21st century thing? Think again. Around 400 AD, the Romans created the Lycurgus cup, a mysterious glass that glows green when lit from the front, but turns red when lit from behind. In our time, we use nanoparticles in medicine, materials, and sensors. It seems futuristic, cutting edge. But in the 1950s, the British Museum bought this ancient Roman glass. It looked normal until scientists noticed something strange. Under different lighting, its color changed dramatically, just like a modern-day LED lamp. Except it came from a time before toilets were even a thing. No one could explain it until 1990. That's when scientists scanned it with an electron microscope. They found that the glass contained gold and silver nanoparticles only 50 nanometers wide. That's 1,000 times smaller than a grain of sand. That means, back when people still wiped with sticks, the Romans were mixing metal nanoparticles into glass to create optical effects. And it wasn't just for looks. When filled with different liquids, the cup changed color, acting as a kind of chemical sensor. Like a medical testing tool, 1,600 years ago. Modern labs have recreated the cup and found it can detect chemical changes better than some of today's nanosensors. So in 2025, we're only beginning to catch up to what Romans already drank wine out of. If that's not alien tech, then where did they get the knowledge to manipulate particles smaller than dust? 3. Electroplating gold. When the ancients had batteries. Today, electroplating uses electric currents to coat gold onto objects. But how do you do that without electricity? Well, maybe ancient people had batteries before we did. In 1939, Archaeologists in Iraq found a strange 6-inch clay pot. When filled with acid and connected to metal rods, it produced electricity. Yes, it worked like a real battery. They called it the Baghdad battery, and it predates the Volta battery by 800 years. That changes everything, because we've long assumed that gold-covered relics from Egypt or Rome were solid gold. But on closer inspection, many were just electroplated. A thin layer of gold over a cheaper base material, just like today's gold-plated jewelry. But here's the twist. Ancient gold coatings have lasted thousands of years. Today, your gold-plated chain starts fading after a few months. I used to think the ancients were primitive. But now I wonder. No electricity, no machines. Yet they extracted gold, generated power, and coated objects by hand. Meanwhile, we live in a time of mass production, fake gold, and filters for Instagram bling. 4. The Greek computer, a mechanical universe in a box. Picture a computer, no screen, no electricity that calculate planet positions, eclipses, and Olympic schedules. Sounds like science fiction? But in 1901, divers found a rusted lump from an ancient Greek shipwreck. It looked like junk until they X-rayed it. Inside, more than 30 tiny bronze gears, intricately crafted. It became known as the Antikythera Mechanism. Once reconstructed, it turned out to be a mechanical model of the solar system. It could predict lunar eclipses, track planetary motion, and even had a dial for the Olympic calendar. This was the time when most of the world believed the Earth was flat. Yet the Greeks had a working analog computer with gears so precise they rivaled modern Swiss watches. Who taught them that? Did they build it just to watch the moon, or for something greater? I won't say it was aliens, but saying humanity never reached this level of engineering before now, that's the real mistake. Maybe we're not inventing, we're just remembering. So, what do you think? Were ancient civilizations just incredibly smart? Or did they get a little help from somewhere out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you felt chills like I did the first time I learned about this, share the story. Let's make the past unforgettable.